Hi, I'm Josh Murphy from Sanders and Jay. We're here with Neil Wise of Ensum Brown, and we're here with the Open Creative Podcast. Today we're going to talk about brand evaluation. I know we've said about that we're going to cover many different topics, but that was one for me was really key and something we've actually recently gone through with Neil and the Ensum Brown award-winning estate agency in Hertfordshire. So Neil, thank you for joining me.
Nice to meet you.
Like I said, I think it'd be good for us. Like I say, I'm open. A couple of questions, take you through it. Give me honest feedback, honest answers. Be kind.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I think it'd be good. So obviously,
Let's do it.
We went through that evaluation process, and when we look at you as Ensum Brown as a business, you grew the brand within the local area. It was already in Ware, and you grew the brand in the local area really, really quickly, accelerated at pace, and it kind of evolved and went from yourself and Fraser, who kind of set the business up, and then it's kind of evolved from there. Like, talk us through what's been like from you as a business owner doing that.
I think from the beginning, actually, especially perhaps in a state agency or perhaps a lot of business people don't appreciate the importance of the brand, and they think it's more about, if you're selling a product or in our case a house, it's just about advertising the house and that's it. But I think that's far from what it's about.
Okay.
I think, we grew from 0 market share. Within 3 months we were market leaders, and within 2 years 40% market share, and sold more houses in 21 consecutive months in SG8.
Yeah.
But that's not just from putting houses on the market and showing people the houses and selling them. It all started with the brand and the brand awareness and people's perception of us as individuals and as a team and a company. And it was the brand that got all of that across and why people engaged with us from the very beginning. People bought into the brand and they followed the brand over lots of different marketing that we did. And I think a lot of other estate agents or businesses undervalue the meaning of growing that brand. It's not just, like I say, not just about the product that you're selling or your service that you're offering.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I've been kind of taken back by it. Obviously, we were in Kooky Nomad and setting up the businesses at a very similar time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was really interesting from the onlooker. I like to see that. Obviously, we had early discussions with the branding and looking at the kind of the first visualization of it. And I think it's been amazing to see that journey and trajectory of the business in such a short space of time. I think, but like I said, going back to that brand evaluation, obviously you've grown it so fast, so quickly, and some people might be out there and taking quite a while to grow that. But for you as a business owner, obviously in the past as well, what kind of like time span or do you kind of look at in terms of that valuation of the brand when you're looking internally into your business?
The way the brand come across is so important. And actually for us, we've got to remember we're estate agents. We're not, we are good at marketing, we have ideas, but actually to get the brand to represent what we're about and what we believe in is actually really difficult. Where do you even start? Mm-hmm. And that's where, working with Sanders and Jay, it really brought that structure to doing that and bringing it together. And it's little things you don't even think of, and the typeface of your font, how does that represent your brand and your way of thinking and the language that you talk in? And that was the important thing to get across: our approach, our style, the personalities, the way that we work in developing that brand. And that's what, working together brought that out and really gets it across to people of what we're about, just from all of those different elements of the brand.
Yeah. So when we did the branding day, we came into your office. You guys all sat around a table. I think you've got the team completely engaged into the idea of reevaluating yourselves as a business and looking into it, which I think is really important going into it. What kind of preconception did you have of that day, or like what was the talk me through like your thinking obviously as we're coming into it?
I think sometimes you have the problem that actually we're already market leaders, we're already doing well, but actually we've never thought like that. We've always thought that you've got to keep changing all the time, because it's very easy for your competitor or new entrant to the market to come and try and catch you because they start doing different things. So it's important that we're changing all the time.
Yeah.
but then you also get very protective of your brand and your style, and people are very reluctant to change. Yeah, and I'm really like that. I hate change.
We have
whereas
some good
business
debates.
and life, yeah, absolutely, and we agree and disagree, but
I think
we
that's
find out who's right.
But I think that's part of it, and that's what I like about. I don't think there's ever, in my opinion, I don't think there's ever a wrong or a right time in terms of when to evaluate or when to look at it. When feels right for you and your business. And I think you always said to me, and I think I liked it, and what I took away from it is that seeing yourself as always the new entrant to the market. Don't ever rest on your laurels and always keep trying to evolve and change. I think you obviously do it naturally when you're kind of in the process, but I think when you do a deep dive into it and you sit down, and obviously we laid out the cards and what does your personality look like, and getting feedback on perception, I think it gives a really good platform and chance for you to look at yourself like at that moment in time and say, are we telling the story that we want to tell? And actually, what do we want to do in the future? Where are we going?
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think if you ever watch any other TED Talks or podcasts, Simon Sinek is a real big talker on it. And he talks about the finite game.
Yeah.
So, and that's the way I've always tried to think, is that this isn't about me selling more houses than the next agent for this week or this month. And they might think like that and think, oh, I've got one over on us because they've sold more houses this week. It's about a mindset of continuous improvement, that this doesn't ever end, that we just want to go on that journey from improving every little thing we do or coming up with something different. And if you keep that mindset rather than just trying to win by the end of the week or the month or the year, it's actually really difficult for someone to catch up with you and beat you when you've got a completely different mindset to how everyone else is working within your industry or area.
Yeah. So like I say, once we kind of went out from that, and obviously you kind of then, we went away, we kind of evaluate all the feedback and the insights from the branding day. It was pretty much like from our side of you, we really enjoyed listening to, and I think you had the whole team there, which were, like I say, they bought into it. And then from us, it was depicting, I think we picked out, and obviously, which led towards the campaign, Let's Chat. And I think one thing that kind of stood out for me, what you guys would like to say were doing different was that, and you said about we want to do a estate agency differently, which completely bought into. And I think from day one, being in a different environment and being available and approachable for conversation, you're where people are, I think was what set us apart. And I think that's where the kind of that idea kind of then spread from our point of view. And I feel like it's,
I think from it we got more consistency in our brand, and actually more depth to our brand as well. We had one color, and that's all we focused on, when actually we've now got a few different styles to the brand, but it all gels and works in the same way. And everything that we do, we've got consistency in. And actually, it's all kind of spiraled into more and more ideas and different things that we can do with that brand. Now we've got that structure to it, the depth to it, the look and feel, and what we're trying to get across in that brand. It really opens up a lot of different things.
Yeah. No, I think we were excited. I think because, like you say, I think it's difficult when you look at that market leader and you think, actually, how can we evolve it? It's like when you look at the kind of the bigger brands that have been over the years, and you think, actually, it's quite a brave move to change or to do it, because, like I say, you've got something that actually is successful. So, like I say, I applaud anyone, like I say, that does take that valuation, takes on that feedback, and then can try and make the positive changes that kind of moves the brand forward and keeps evolving with the market. So. But yeah, like I say, I think that's really insightful. Like I say, for me, it's great to see from, like, obviously we experienced something from our side of the table, and we got excited about hearing your feedback and what you were doing as a business, and then delivering back the creative assets like the Let's Chat campaign. I think Steve, our head designer, like I say, absolutely. I think he's got completely bought into it. Absolutely. I think once he was there, it was across every platform, but it's great to hear your side of the process. And your thought process behind it. I think
it's now is just keep revisiting it at regular stages. Just keep on evolving the brand. Never just, like we said, sitting and thinking, that's fine for the next 10 years. It's not. We want to just keep working together, keep changing it, keep being recognisable at the same time, and keep it relevant to what's changing in the world. So
brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks
Much
very much.
appreciated. That concludes our first kind of catch up in terms of evolution of the brand. If you're thinking about looking at your business and how potentially that Science J could help you within that in terms of the service, we'd be more than happy to open conversation. And like I say, if there's any more topics you'd like us to cover on the Open Creative chat with Sanders and Jay, then we'd love to hear from you.